When life feels crowded with challenges, stress, and uncertainty, some people still keep moving forward with a smile. Have you ever wondered why? It is because the way they think is different. Positive thinking is not magic. It is a strength, a habit, and a conscious choice about how we see our circumstances and how we respond to them. When we change the way we think, our lives begin to change with it. That is where this book begins, with a new way of thinking and the promise of a new beginning. This book, Mastering Positive Thinking and Unlocking the Secrets to Positivity and Personal Growth, is written by the well-known author Aidan Storm. In it, he explains how we can bring meaningful change into our lives by improving the way we think, feel, and act. Through scientific insight, practical exercises, and real-life examples, he shows how we can break free from negative thinking and become stronger, better versions of ourselves. His words speak directly to the heart and help build strength from within. This Hindi summary of the book can be approached in 3 ways. First, if you want to change your mindset but do not know where to begin, it can serve as your first step, a foundation for a new way of thinking. Second, if you need a little encouragement every day, each chapter can become a daily source of motivation. Third, if you are serious about real change, then read it as an action guide. Remember this: you become what you repeatedly think. If you tell yourself every day that you can do it, one day you truly will. And if you keep believing that nothing can change, then nothing will. This is not a book to read and set aside. It is a book meant to change the way you think. It is for anyone who has finally said, "Enough is enough. I want to make my life better." So, recognize the strength within you and begin this new journey. Chapter 1: The Power of Thought. Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your life is shaped by your thoughts? Thought is not just a mental process, it shapes your entire reality. What you think gradually becomes what you feel. Those feelings turn into habits, and those habits determine the direction of your life. If you keep telling yourself that you're a failure, your mind will start closing off possibilities. But if you tell yourself every day that you can succeed, your mind will start looking for new paths. Thought is not just an idea, it is a seed, and your life is the tree that grows from it. Now think about the difference between positive thinking and negative thinking. The distance between them is like the distance between light and darkness. When you think negatively, when you say, "I can't do this, I have nothing, my luck is bad," you begin shutting the doors within yourself. You become afraid. You stop moving. You begin to look at every good thing with suspicion. But when you think positively, when you say, "I will try, I want to learn, every day is a new opportunity," you give yourself permission to move forward. Positive thinking does not mean living in false hope. It means being able to find a path for yourself in every situation. And this is not just motivational language. Neuroscience has shown that the brain can change every day. This is called brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize itself. It means that no matter how you think right now, you can change that pattern. Your mind can build new pathways, develop new habits, and erase old destructive patterns. There is only one condition. You have to decide that from this moment forward, you will make your thinking more positive. Just as the body can be reshaped through exercise, the mind can be reshaped through small daily practices of positivity.
The most powerful message of this chapter is simple. Change your thinking, and your life will begin to change. Thought may seem small, but it is one of the greatest powers a human being possesses. It does not matter whether you are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, supported by circumstances or not. If you have a positive mindset, you still have a way forward. Starting now, in this very moment, change the way you think. When you say from within, "I can do this," no force in the world will be able to stop you. Chapter 2. Belief Systems and Self-Talk. Have you ever noticed that it hurts when someone else puts you down, but when you put yourself down in your own mind, the damage runs even deeper? The real enemy is not outside, it lives within. It is that inner voice that keeps saying you cannot do it. This is beyond you. You are not capable enough. These are called limiting beliefs, the beliefs that hold us back, keep us confined, and bury the talent that lives inside us. These beliefs are built over time, from childhood to the present. Someone says something hurtful, we fail a few times, a dream falls apart, and then, quietly, we begin to believe that we are no longer capable of anything greater. But the truth is that these beliefs are nothing more than false boundaries created by the mind. They can be broken. They can be outgrown. So, how do we break them? The answer is self-talk. The way you speak to yourself has a deep effect on your confidence and your mindset. If every day you criticize yourself, if you keep saying, "I am foolish, I can never do anything right, why does this always happen to me?" then you are tearing yourself down from the inside. But if you begin speaking to yourself differently, if you say, "I am learning, I have strength, I am getting better every day," then slowly but surely your way of thinking will change, your way of speaking will change, and then your life will change with it. That is why it is so important to replace negative thinking with positive affirmations. Affirmations are the positive statements you repeat to yourself every day. I am strong. I have the power to do what needs to be done. Every day I begin again. These may sound like small statements, but when you repeat them consistently, the mind begins to accept them as truth. And once the mind accepts something as true, the whole body begins moving in that direction. Now let us talk about habit building. One of the best ways to make positive self-talk part of your life is to create a daily affirmation ritual. Every morning after waking up, or every night before going to sleep, stand in front of a mirror and say 5 positive things to yourself out loud. At first, it may feel awkward, but within a few days, it will begin to feel natural. You will notice yourself becoming calmer, stronger, and more grounded in self-belief. And that is where the real shift begins. When you start trusting yourself, the world begins to take you seriously as well. The strongest lesson in this chapter is this: the way you speak to yourself becomes the world you live in. If you keep tearing yourself down, no one else will be able to put you back together. But if you rebuild yourself every day, if you appreciate yourself and understand yourself, then no force in the world can truly bring you down. From today on, speak to yourself the way you would speak to your dearest friend, because no one is closer to you than you are to yourself. Chapter 3. Practicing Gratitude. Gratitude is not just a word. It is a force powerful enough to change the way we experience the world. It reshapes our perspective, strengthens our spirit, and fills the way we live with positivity. When we practice gratitude, we do not simply acknowledge our struggles. We also begin to notice the good in every small and large moment of life. That is the real magic of gratitude. It clears our thinking and gives us a reason to be thankful for each new day. In the rush of modern life, we are often surrounded by negative thoughts. The pressure of work, the pace of daily life, and constant challenges leave us drained, and little by little we begin focusing only on our problems. But when we build the habit of gratitude, we begin to see the world through a different lens. We start noticing the small blessings we once ignored. Gratitude reminds us that no matter how difficult life becomes, there is always something we can be thankful for, and that shift can make our thinking deeply positive. One of the simplest and most effective ways to practice gratitude is through journaling. Set aside a few minutes each day and write down what you are grateful for. It could be something small, like someone greeting you with a smile, or a moment when someone helped you. When we write our thoughts down, we experience them again. This not only helps us remember positive moments, it also brings peace and contentment to the mind. It is a powerful practice that guides the mind in the right direction and helps us feel the gratitude already present within us. The effect of gratitude does not last for only a day. When you make it part of your daily routine, its impact grows deeper over time. Small moments of thanks, a good day, a tender memory, a quiet moment of joy, all of these begin filling your inner world with positive energy. Slowly, those small moments grow into larger results. You begin to feel that a new sense of hope and positivity has entered your life, and that change is born from these simple acts of gratitude. Begin and end your day with thanks. Imagine waking up and saying to yourself, "Thank you for letting me experience this new morning." Imagine going to sleep and saying, "Thank you for what this day has taught me." Would that not be enough to change the tone of your entire day? That is the power of gratitude. It helps us notice life's smallest joys and inspires us to remain positive in every circumstance. Gratitude is not just a habit, it can become a way of life. When we practice gratitude, we do not only make our own lives more beautiful, we also send a message of positivity and love to the people around us. By using the power of gratitude wisely, we can strengthen our mental state and fill our lives with happiness.
Chapter 4. Reframing and Resilience. Problems and challenges come to everyone. But those challenges are not only obstacles, they can also become opportunities that lead us in a new direction. This is the art of reframing, seeing a negative situation from a new perspective and turning it into something constructive. Understanding this and putting it into practice can transform your life. Cognitive reframing is the mental process of looking at an event or situation through a different lens. It means that when we go through hardship, we do not have to see it only as failure. We can also see it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and become wiser. When we frame failure in a positive way, it strengthens our mental well-being and motivates us to keep moving. It clears our thinking and gives us a fresher perspective on life itself. Most failures contain a lesson if we choose to see them clearly. When a task remains unfinished or a goal is not reached, instead of sinking into disappointment, we should ask what this experience can teach us. Failure can become fuel. Instead of treating it as a wall, we can treat it as a step that moves us closer to our destination. This shift in mindset can become the key to success. Real success is not avoiding failure. It is rising after failure and moving forward with greater strength. Resilience is the ability that helps us not only endure life's hardships, but rise from them. Building mental resilience is not always easy, but it is a habit that can be woven into daily life. Flowing, it can become part of your routine through simple acts such as accepting difficult situations, speaking positively to yourself, and continuing forward in small steps. When resilience becomes a habit, every challenge gives you new strength, and you begin to feel stronger than before. Obstacles often hide opportunities. This idea reminds us that every problem, every hardship, every barrier contains something valuable within it. When we feel surrounded by difficulty, we need to remember that the situation is temporary. It may have arrived to teach us something new. The same obstacle can become an opportunity if we choose to see it through the right perspective. This is what life teaches us. Every challenge can be approached as a new opening, and the moment our thinking changes, our lives begin to change with it. Through resilience and reframing, we can turn any challenge into an opportunity and move toward our goals with greater strength. Chapter 5. Visualization and Goal Alignment.
Have you ever wondered how much easier success would feel if you could first see it clearly in your mind? Visualization is a powerful technique that helps you experience your dreams and goals before they fully arrive. When you picture your success as though it has already happened, it leaves a lasting impression on the mind, and that impression motivates you to move toward it. This technique builds confidence and prepares you mentally to keep moving toward your goal. Visualization is not mere imagination, it is mental rehearsal. It prepares you to reach your goal before the moment actually comes. In mental rehearsal, you replay the image of your success again and again in your mind. To do it well, sit quietly, breathe deeply, and see your goal as clearly as possible, as though it has already been achieved. Feel the joy, the fulfillment, and the emotional reality of that success. When you rehearse it this way, your mind begins to believe that the goal is possible, and it becomes ready to take the steps required to reach it. Sometimes we set goals simply because we want to achieve something, but we do not stop to ask whether those goals are aligned with our deeper positivity and purpose. When your goal is connected not just to personal gain, but to a positive intention and a larger purpose, your efforts carry more energy and meaning. Aligning your goal with a higher purpose doesn't only motivate you more, it also brings a deeper sense of satisfaction and inner peace. Looking at your goal through a positive lens and tying it to the right intention can become your key to success.
To truly experience the power of visualization, it helps to follow a simple practice every day. Sit in a quiet place. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let your body relax completely. Then bring your goal onto the screen of your mind as though it has already come true. For example, if your goal is to earn a promotion, see yourself already living that reality, working in your new role, carrying yourself with confidence and satisfaction. Now feel the emotions that belong to that success. Are you happy? Do you feel proud? What thoughts arise in that moment? Let those feelings spread through your entire body. Then connect your success to a positive intention. Once you have achieved your goal, what positive effect will it have on your life? Will it make your family proud? Will it allow you to help others? Ask yourself how this success connects to a larger purpose. Hold that image in your mind. Let it stay there. Convince yourself that you will reach this goal. Repeat the image often, and whenever an obstacle appears, return to it. This practice will not only strengthen your belief in success, it will also bring you mentally closer to your goal. When practiced regularly, it creates a deep sense of motivation and confidence that makes your real-world efforts more effective. Through this simple but powerful exercise, you can give fresh momentum to your journey and move toward your goal with greater determination. Chapter 6. Emotional Intelligence and Awareness. Success in the outer world is not enough. Real success begins when you understand your inner world. And one of the most important tools for doing that is emotional intelligence. When you learn to recognize your emotions, understand them, and express them in the right way, you do not just make better decisions, you also strengthen your relationships, your career, and your mental well-being. Have you ever noticed that your reactions tend to repeat in certain situations? Being stuck in traffic may make you irritable. Criticism may trigger anger. Loneliness may bring sadness. These are emotional patterns, repeated emotional responses. Learning to recognize them is the first step in emotional intelligence. The moment you notice that you tend to feel the same way every time a certain situation appears, you stop letting that emotion control you automatically. Instead, you begin learning how to respond with awareness. Self-awareness is the strength that teaches you to respond instead of react. When someone speaks to you in anger and you answer with anger, that is reaction.
But if you pause for a moment and ask yourself whether that person is truly angry with you or simply dealing with stress of their own, then you begin responding from a more thoughtful place. That is self-awareness. It strengthens your ability to regulate emotion so that you can remain calm, steady, and wise instead of being swept away. Mindfulness means living each moment with full awareness. When you begin living in the present, you understand your emotions more clearly. Mindfulness clears the mind. No burden from yesterday, no anxiety about tomorrow, only the truth of this moment. Practicing mindfulness for even 5 to 10 minutes a day can give your mind stillness, clarity, and emotional strength. Here is a simple exercise you can use anytime, especially when you feel stressed, angry, or emotionally low. Close your eyes and keep your spine straight. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Brief breath. Hold that breath for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Repeat this cycle 3 times. That's all it takes for the mind to begin feeling calmer, fresher, and more centered. The result is powerful. You begin to realize that your emotions are no longer controlling you. You are understanding them, managing them, and directing them in the right way. Emotional intelligence is not a superpower, it's a practice. And the more consistently you adopt it, the more mentally strong, peaceful, and effective you become. So the next time emotions begin to rise, take a deep breath and remember this. You already have the strength within you to understand them and handle them well.
Chapter 7. Habits for a Positive Life. If you want to make your life more positive, joyful, and successful, then you have to pay attention to the small decisions you make every day. Those small decisions become habits, and habits either lift you up or pull you down. So let us look at the positive habits that can truly transform your life. The way your day begins and the way it ends often determines the quality of the day itself. The first thing you should do in the morning is give thanks for 3 things. Repeat 1 positive affirmation for the day. Tell yourself, I am getting better every day. Spend 15 minutes doing light exercise or yoga. It activates both the mind and the body. At least once during the day, make time for something that brings you joy. Listening to music, reading a book, or connecting with nature. When you follow routines like these, the mind begins to think positively on its own. The environment around you and the people you meet every day have a deep effect on the way you think. If you remain surrounded by negative people who constantly complain, your own thinking gradually starts moving in that direction. So keep yourself around people who uplift you, motivate you, and support your growth. A clean, peaceful home environment with inspiring words around you can also make your inner world more positive. Morning and evening are the 2 moments that shape your energy. In your morning ritual, do not look at your phone as soon as you wake up. Spend 3 minutes in silence, breathing, or meditation. Journal for a few minutes and ask yourself what you can do better today. In your evening ritual, write down 3 positive things that happened during the day. Spend 5 minutes in gratitude or prayer. Before going to sleep, ask yourself one honest question. Did I become a better person today? These 2 rituals can take your thinking to the next level. Now try a 7-day positivity challenge. On day 1, wake up and give thanks for 3 things. On day 2, stay away from social media for 1 hour and use that time to focus on yourself. On day 3, sincerely appreciate someone. On day 4, spend 10 minutes in meditation or on a quiet walk. On day 5, speak only positive words. No gossip, no complaining. On day 6, spend 15 minutes focusing on one of your dreams or goals. On day 7, make a list of 5 good things from your day.
Once you complete this 7-day challenge, you will begin to feel the change within yourself. More energy, more clarity, a sense of peace that comes from within. Small positive habits gradually change the way you think, the way you feel, and ultimately the way you live. A positive life does not arrive through magic. It is built through small positive choices made every day. So choose one habit today and begin turning your life in a positive direction. Chapter 8. Momentum and Mastery. It's easy to chase dreams. The real challenge is continuing to live them every day, especially after the first wave of excitement begins to fade. That's where the real work begins. This chapter is about keeping that inner fire alive when motivation weakens and about turning positivity into a way of life. How do you stay on track when motivation drops? The truth is that motivation doesn't stay with us all the time. Some days you feel energized and ready. Other days you don't feel like doing anything at all. That's when momentum becomes so important. When you keep taking action again and again, whether you feel like it or not, your habits begin turning into a system. And that system keeps you moving. The secret is simple. Don't wait to feel motivated. Just show up. If you don't feel like going to the gym, put on your shoes anyway. The moment you take the first step, the mind begins to activate. Consistency matters more than motivation.
Count the small wins, and you will build greater energy. We often think victory means something huge, a promotion, massive sales, a medal, public recognition. But in reality, the deepest motivation often comes from the smallest victories. Waking up without hitting snooze, staying calm in a moment of anger, spending 15 minutes working on yourself. These small wins send a signal to the brain. I am making progress. And once the mind feels that progress is happening, it naturally pushes you to do even better. One helpful practice is to keep a win tracker. Every night, write down 3 positive things you did during the day. Then remember this: positivity is not a mask to wear, it is a habit to build. Being positive does not mean you never feel sad. It means that even when sadness comes, you tell yourself, this moment will pass and I will learn from it and move forward. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are. So when you practice positive thinking every day, even in small ways, it slowly becomes part of your identity. Positivity is a practice, not a personality trait. Positive people are not born that way. They train themselves every day to become a little better. So, the next time your motivation drops, the next time you feel like giving up, tell yourself this: take one breath, take one step, hold on to one positive thought, and keep going. Because if you have not stopped, you have not lost. So, what comes next? Now you are becoming the kind of person who practices positivity every day. It is no longer just an idea, it's a habit, it's a strength, and that's what will lead you toward mastery. Keep going. You have this. In the end, mastering positive thinking teaches us just how powerful our thoughts can be. When we guide our thinking in a positive direction, we can turn every challenge in life into an opportunity. Aidan Storm expresses this beautifully in the book. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner thinking. In other words, the way you think becomes the life you live. Now the choice is in your hands. Every morning tell yourself this: I am positive, I am capable, and I can think better in every situation. If you found this video inspiring, be sure to like it. Tell us in the comments which point resonated with you the most. Share it with those who could use a little more positivity in their lives. And if you want to hear more motivational book summaries like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Audiobooks are. Remember this always: change your thinking, and your life will begin to change. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, think positive and stay positive.